So I'm sitting here driving and I'm just listening to my worship music and everything. And that song More Than Able by Maverick City comes on. And it started to have me thinking because they say that God is more than able. Can you imagine with all the faith in the room what the Lord can do? And it's such a good song. Y'all should check it out. But it has me thinking about like deliverance and being set free from the things that continue to distract us like on a daily basis and stuff. And it's not just social media, it's just life. Just be lifing, but I was sitting here thinking, I was like, May 2025 will be 1 year without alcohol. I haven't had sex since December 2024, and this week is the first week, February 2025, that I was like, Lord, this is it. I'm done with weed. I'm done. I can't keep doing this. I don't want to keep doing this. I want to get to know you more. And I am just justifying and lying to myself, saying that the higher I am, the closer I am to you. Or the more I understand, the more I feel closer to you. Blah, 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 blah. And I'm lying to myself to justify that behavior because in actuality, that doesn't fit with what I want to do financially with the Lord. So that doesn't make sense. So I was sitting here thinking about that, and I was like, man, those are all like worldly distractions. And I'm so grateful that the Lord has been faithful and good to deliver me from all of these things that I continue to think that I need and to supplement instead of just resting in his comfort and trusting the process. He also put on my heart to talk about like the distractions in the spiritual sense as well. He also wanted me to talk about like distractions in like the spiritual sense. My whole life, like I've dealt with, well, from birth to 13, 14, I went through like a lot of traumatic things that I just kind of chalked it up to it just being life. And then 14 is when I had my first panic attack, and that ended up with me in both the hospital and the mental hospital. At 32, I've already been institutionalized twice. I've been diagnosed with anxiety, depression, and PTSD. I'm so happy that the Lord is the Lord, and he's faithful, and he sent his son to die for me. At first, when I believed, or when I accepted but I didn't believe, I ended up in the mental hospital because I didn't believe that Jesus died for me specifically. I was like, yeah, he died on the cross and all of that stuff, but I didn't believe that he died for me specifically. Now I know that he died for me to be free of the spiritual weight of anxiety, the spiritual weight of depression, the spiritual weight of PTSD, whatever. Those are just labels to talk about the spiritual warfare that I've been going through my entire life. And now I'm just feeling like a freedom. I feel like this freedom to explore and express the full spectrum of my emotions with no fear. And that's typically what those diagnoses would cause, is fear of something. And as far as I know, my Lord has conquered death, hell, and the grave. So there is nothing for me to be afraid of. And he wanted me to come today to remind his people that there's nothing to be afraid of. Release yourself from the weight of these distractions. Turn to Jesus Christ so he can free you from the slavery of the things that continue to distract your spirit and weigh your spirit. He also wanted me to let you guys know that he is faithful to deliver you from the things that continue to torment you if you are willing to throw your hands up in surrender and say that you're done with the way that you're living because you can't take it anymore and you need a savior. And then if you confess in your heart or confess with your mouth and believe in your heart that Jesus Christ is Lord, he is faithful to save you. He is faithful to redeem you. He is faithful to deliver you. He is faithful through and through. And I was literally just like crying about that like not even 20 minutes ago about how faithful he is. And I'm literally at a point of like when I start feeling the stress, I'm just like, why would I put myself through that? Why would I put myself through the mental torment of being stressed out when I can go to prayer and I can go to the throne of my Father who sits in heaven and say, hey, look, I'm not strong enough for this, but I know you are. I don't see a solution to this, but I know you do. I can't see what's supposed to be happening next, but I know you're already there. So I need you to take this stress. I need you to take this burden and give me yours, because yours is lighter than mine. Because if I continue to hold on to this will weigh me down and I will drown. Once we start doing that on a regular basis, not just when we're extremely stressed, but in every single thing that we do throughout the day, like somebody cuts you off, Lord, I need you in this moment. Because I want to hog at him, I want to flip him off, I want to whatever. Lord, I need you in this moment. Like you get a bad result or bad whatever, Lord, I need you in this moment. Because I can't handle this mentally, I can't handle this emotionally, but I know you're stronger than this and I know you're greater than this. Start turning everything over to him as soon as it happens. Not, I'll pray about that later. Oh, I'll pray about that person later. No. What's so bad about right now? What's so terrible about right now? Nothing's terrible about right now because he was here. He is here now. He was here before you got here, and he will be here after you get here, after you leave here. Because he goes before you, he's behind you, he's beside you, he is your protection. So that's just what I wanted to share. That's what's been on my heart this morning. And